Hello YouTube, welcome back to Aces Plays. Today I'm going to be checking out Mini Settlers. It's a city builder game, but it's also more akin to Factorio where you're on a map, you have to get resources from point A to point B, you have to manufacture them and grow your city. So it can get pretty complex. And so it's kind of like Factorio Light. So we're on this map, it's got water, it's got trees, it's got stone, and it's got the green tiles where you can grow your farms. So the first thing the game is going to request from you is, hey, can you make a small town and have 100 people move in? Sure. So we're going to first build a city center. You can't build houses until you have your city center, so that's got to go first. And your houses have to be within like a certain proximity of the city center. You can build up to 10 houses per city center. So, and as you can see, they're already requesting things. Now the houses in the city center, they aren't connected to anything. So we're gonna build a road that connects them all to each other. I don't think that was that efficient. Okay. Hello, we happen to have water nearby, right? So we're gonna go ahead and build a water well. And the water well is gonna start pumping out water pretty soon. If you hover over it, it doesn't have any animation, but it does have like a little gear symbol to let the player know. Every 7 seconds, it's gonna make one droplet of water, and we need to connect the town to the water well. So again, you just go ahead and get your road built. And okay, so you can see here that the roads can only be so long. I can't connect it in a single segment. We have to do this. So unfortunately, whenever you build a segment, no matter how short or long it is, it's gonna create like this midpoint. And I guess that's kind of like the worker who brings the resources to point A to point B, basically. So now they're all requesting apples. We should consider building an apple farm. And we have some fertile land out here, so we're going to go ahead and build an apple farm here and an apple farm right here. Apple farms, just like the houses, they request water, but they also produce things. They produce food. They're going to produce apples. So what we can do here is make sure that the apple farms are receiving water, like so. And we managed to do that in a single segment. So water goes in, apple goes out. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that they're getting apples from these apple farms. This single water well is providing water to several houses, a town center, and 2 apple farms. I guess for the sake of speeding the tutorial along, we can kind of build a second water well. We don't really need to, but okay, we'll just go ahead and place one there. And one fun thing about this game is that it doesn't punish you for removing things, moving things around, because none of these houses, utilities, none of the buildings cost anything to build. They're essentially kind of free. So right now this isn't connected to anything, so we can, how about we, oh, here's an idea. And also, it'll provide water as well to this kind of, this half of the town. Let's go ahead and make sure we put that on the fastest setting. And so we've got a population of 12. We are growing. We're up to 20 people. Everyone's happy. And once we get to a population of 100, we're going to unlock the next step of the tutorial. We're at 100 people moved in. Now we got some new buildings unlocked. So the tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and just delete everything. So the tutorial actually wants us to achieve 2 different objectives. I'm going to pause it. One is that they want the player to build a town of 700 residents. Now we build a very tiny town of just 100, but there's this other objective here. This one's called a monument. Unlike the town, residents will constantly request the same resources. They'll ask for it infinitely, but the monument will only ask for these resources once. And I think for the sake of streamlining the video and making it very easy to comprehend, we are going to build the monument first. So we deleted our town because I don't want to have to feed them water, food, and other things. We're going to build the monument first. And I think that's also a much easier way to kind of walk the viewer through the complexities of this game. What do we need to build the monument? The monument wants 75 trees, 75 of these hammers, and 50 pink chairs. Okay, like I think that's like the Target or the IKEA. It needs a hardware store and it needs lumber. So in order to harvest lumber, we need trees. We got a bunch of trees right here, so we're going to go ahead and build a lumber yard. We're going to go ahead and place it right in the center so we can get the most lumber we can. Now, what does a lumber yard need? Oh, we built the wrong thing. Oops. This is a lumber yard. Anyways, what does the lumber camp need? Well, it needs apples. We need to, I guess it's got like workers there. They're lumberjacks. They need to have lunch every night. So let's make sure that we build an apple yard, apple farm. We know that the apple farm needs to connect. Oh, we're just a little, just 1 or 2 tiles away from being able to connect that in a single road. So we can do that. I mean, it's not entirely important to do that. For now, I think this is all the apples we really need to feed the lumberjacks here. So, and also, of course, the apple farm needs water. And so I guess just because it's free, we can just build another apple farm right here. And then, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let the game run. We're gonna watch the apple farm. They're gonna request water. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that this is gonna make water until someone requests it. And this is not going to send out apples until, of course, someone else requests it. So we've got our lumber camp here who's going to consume the apples. They're going to make lumber for us. Now, right now, it doesn't have any place to put it. It's just storing lumber. And it can only store 2 maximum lumber. So pretty soon it's going to reach its max. And we need to send the lumber from here all the way to the monument. So the way we do that is first we build a road, right? And then we can build another road, a much larger road called a highway. So the highways, as you can see, can go much further than just 6 or 7 tiles. They can go much longer. And they can carry 2 resources at the same time. Now, the way the highways work is that the highways can't connect directly to buildings. They need to connect to a road. What we can do, another thing that we have access to, is that we can start growing trees. Because trees are a finite resource. Once you use them up, they don't come back. But we can grow them back. So we're going to go ahead and place a bunch of foresters around here. They're going to, of course, grow trees in the green parts that you see there. Now, we already have 1 source of water here. We can make more. Once these foresters, once they receive 2 water, they're going to create 1 tree. So while this depletes trees, this grows trees. We can also start utilizing some of the available water and fertile land that's way up here on the northern portion of the map. So we can start growing forests here. We can just place, I guess 3 of them is fine. Now when you build a highway, you have to build like highway stops for them, or else they won't be able to, you can't just connect them to like the road itself. They need to be connected to these dots. The buildings connect to it via a road. So that's just how it works. So now they're going to start receiving water, and they're going to start planting trees all around this area. All right, our monument has reached 75 wood or 75 lumber, so it doesn't need any more. Now that was the easy part of this tutorial because we only had to focus on 1 type of resource. So we can go ahead and delete that, and this game's very forgiving. You can always just delete and rearrange things, so that's what we're going to do. And so our foresters did a really good job. This one's completely grown everything it could, so we're going to delete that. This one's still kind of working on it. This one's grown everything it could, as well as that. We're going to want another forester somewhere around here. Makes sense. There. Okay, so what do we do next? So we need to fulfill this next objective. It needs tools. It needs hammers. So it needs the hammer thing. So one thing that I found to be useful is I just first check out, well, what do we need to do to build the hammer? You can just place it anywhere. It doesn't cost anything again. It needs, oh, we're not done with lumber yet, but it needs ore. What do we do? How do we create ore? Well, of course, it needs to be next to the stone. I mean, it's not ore, I'm sorry, it's stone. The quarry does need to be, it can't be on top of the stone, it just needs to be like next to it. What does the stone need? It needs apples. So, okay, let's go ahead and make another apple farm. Sure, apple farm right there, right? And we already know that the apple farm needs water. And we just need to send the apple to the quarry. Just like the lumberjacks, they need to eat lunch. So, okay. And then once they eat their lunch, they're going to create 2 ore. See if we can create this in one go. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and put that back. And let's go ahead and just temporarily figure out another configuration for all this. Let's build another forest lumberyard there. Now I know that they need apples. Okay, now our 2 lumber yards are going to be able to create lumber, and we're going to send the lumber to a central location. And I'm not trying to overcomplicate it. I'm just kind of going with the flow. We're going to send it to a storage facility. I'm not sure if I talked about this yet, but a storage facility is very convenient because now we have, you can centralize resources basically. It goes right here, right? Build a short road and then build a freeway down to this section, and then we connect it with another road. I know this all seems convoluted, but this is kind of like the fun part of the game. I love being able to just change things on the fly and trying to find a more efficient means of doing something. And hey, if that didn't work out, then that's cool. We can always figure something else out. So yes, we are now delivering our tools over to our monument, and they need 75 tools. And then the next thing we're going to build are these 50 chairs. Okay. They've got their Ace hardware. Well, where I live, we have Granger. I think they have those on both the East and the West Coast. I remember seeing those in Cali. And oh yeah, so these things have the Forcers have finished their job. They've done what they could, and we're gonna kind of just quote unquote abandon this area. I mean, meaning that we don't need to look at this until a little bit later. So we're just gonna leave it as is, but now we have access to twice as much wood as we did before. We should probably think about replenishing the wood supply in this area. Forester, I think right about here. Ooh, that would be a nice location for us to start growing back nature. Right around here, there's a lot of nice big patch there. Yep, our monument is receiving its hammers. And look, it's already got 20 of them. What do we need to build chairs? 1 unit of lumber and 1 unit of the hammers. All right. I wonder if this would work. We connect that, right? So it's going to start receiving hammers, but it also needs to receive wood. So this needs wood and this needs wood. Okay. It's just bringing down another highway. Have this source of lumber come down this way directly into the IKEA. The Ace hardware is receiving its lumber from the distribution center. This lumber yard is consuming the apples almost as soon as it gets it. So, okay, we've got apples going to you, but we could have more. Let's just go ahead and fix that little pipeline issue. It's not pretty, but okay, this is what we got to work with. Okay, wow, good thing I came back and checked. The chair is the most complex thing to build. It requires, it's like a 4th tier resource basically. Where's my highway? Okay, and then we connect it like so. Connect the road directly. There we go. Because it requires water and apples. Apples are needed to create the lumber. Lumber is needed to create the hammer, and the hammer is needed to create the chair. So anyway, so we kept most of the existing structure or layout, but we're just going to completely delete it once we actually get to the part of the tutorial that really matters, is the city building aspect. We're just getting the monument out of the way because it's a one-time build, and once it's built, it's permanent. We don't have to maintain it or anything. Okay, so I accidentally did not get this part on camera, but we did finish the monument. And again, it's a one-time build, so we can go ahead and delete all the infrastructure needed to build it. We satisfied this objective requirement. Now on to like the actual, like, let's say meat of the game is that, okay, now we have to build a town of 900 people, and they have an infinite amount of requests. They will never be satisfied, but the way that you win the objective is by getting 900 people to move into your town. Go ahead and, I guess, reset, so to speak. A lot of logistics to think about here, so I'm going to do a lot of thinking off camera and then bring it back to you guys once I kind of have an idea of what I'm going through. I'm not trying to overthink it, though. I think that's one thing about this game, is that it's not really meant to be overthought. So, okay, anyway, so let's just roll with it. Let's go ahead and build our stone quarries. We know we're going to need a couple of these in Apple Farm to make sure that they can get their apples. That sounds good. Okay. I'm already overthinking it. Okay. And then water goes in, apple comes out. Apples go in. So the stone is going to get stored there. Oh, we're going to need several sources of lumber. Thankfully, we got a huge lumber yard way out here. We can go here, here, here. We're going to just place all the lumber here. So we're going to go here, build a highway. They need to connect by a station, via these stations. Okay. Oh, uh-oh. I accidentally built that wrong, incorrectly. Okay, there we go. There we go. And yeah, this just needs to be re-angled there. Okay, not the end of the world. And I think this can just go directly to here. These guys are lumberjacks, and they need a bunch of apples. So I don't think we need a whole lot of apples. This kind of sucks that we have to cut down like so many trees to get this to all network correctly, but right now it's never gonna look exactly the way you want. This is not a game for people who are very concerned about the aesthetics of their eventual town. You just gotta roll with it. Oh, we're just one tile off. Okay, can we connect it via here? Okay, I'm gonna just unpause it quickly just to see this in motion. So both of these water wells are gonna pump out water, and they're going to feed the water into the farms. Okay, we're going to check back in a second and make sure that this is actually set to collecting lumber. Okay, so this is going to build up a bunch of lumber, right? The lumber then gets sent somewhere down here, way down here. And we know we need stations for the lumber to get dropped off. Now, here comes the complex part. So we already got, this is already working. They're making ore, they're eating their apples, they're making ore, they're making stone. Ace Hardware is going to need lumber. Ace Hardware, right there, okay. Go ahead and connect Ace Hardware to the stone quarry. We're going to build a station that can now pick up the lumber. Okay, all right. I mean, it'll work. Now the hammers, the hammers get produced out of here and have to go to the IKEA. It goes to the IKEA here, okay. Gotta be mindful of our space here. So they go into the IKEA, but the IKEA needs its own source of lumber as well. No, it doesn't. It can just share the source of lumber from there. Now we have to think about our town. So our town is going to need more than one source of water. That's for certain. That's for certain. Let's go ahead and just build more water, and we can also start storing excess water, which sounds like a pretty good idea. Okay. Right there. Now we can start building more farms, because that's going to be a thing. Okay, we're going to delete that simply because I just want to rotate it. Oh, all right, so water comes in. Water comes in. And then I guess okay, start putting your apples here, guys. Okay, so now let's start thinking about our town. We might as well just build it on the sand because nothing else can grow on sand anyway. So we do know from earlier in the tutorial that we need a town center, and the town center can have a maximum of 10 houses. So we're gonna build. We're gonna leave a little gap here for a road to kind of connect through there. And how do we want to do this? Okay. Doesn't have to be pretty. It's not gonna look perfect in this game, but we do know we can reach a maximum of 10 houses. Okay. Okay, and also we can go here and here. So another thing that like makes this really challenging is how they have to be close together. You can't really spread out the houses to make room for distribution centers. So we just got to do the best we can for now. We're going to set this one to water, right? So we're going to send the water here. And we're going to build more of these because they're going to need food, right? See, I'm learning already. So we're going to send the apples up this way because this is where apples are going to be. All right. We're doing it. We're learning. Every day I am learning things. Okay. Okay, so apples come here and they go out that way. Okay, so we got a bunch of water here. You know what? We're going to delete this, actually. So delete that. This is going to be a waste. We're going to lose the resources there, but for a good cause, because we're going to go ahead and rebuild that water distribution center, and it's going to be right here. I'm not sure if this will warrant the need for a freeway, but we're going to try and build one anyways. Yeah. Okay, so now, yes, we're doing it. Okay. Okay, we're going to have to really finagle this. They're going to have water, they're going to have food, and they need furniture. Okay, so how do we get them furniture? Because you can't overlap the highways, unfortunately. Okay. Hopefully we can still connect these together. Okay. There's going to be a little bit of a traffic jam here, but it is what it is at the moment. Wood goes into, that way wood can flow into here and possibly into the IKEA center. Now it's going to produce a chair. It's going to spit the chair out this way, and it's going to travel via highway. This is the IKEA only highway. Okay, so we've got a road here, and then we're gonna build an IKEA somewhere off the interstate and connect it like that. Okay, now we're not done with this interstate because we know we're gonna need to build more IKEAs, possibly up this direction, and they need these distribution centers. Okay, so we're just kind of future-proofing how we're gonna work with that. But for now, let's just go ahead and unpause it and see how we're gonna see if we can get 240 people to move in and get this functioning before we worry about the other 660 people. Make sure we don't have resources going in the opposite direction. Oh, we got apples going up this way. We don't want apples going up this way. We want... Okay, so what we can do here is that we got a little bit of a production confusion here. So we can build this permission station. We're going to say nothing goes through here except lumber. So they won't be sending apples down this direction, right? Nothing goes through here except lumber. Okay. Nothing but lumber. Okay. Nothing but IKEA only. IKEA only. Okay. And oh, I forgot to set that to IKEA. Okay, they're getting apples. Are they getting water? Oh, I forgot to set this to water. Okay. Okay, we gotta set this to water only. So, had I set this to water only, there wouldn't have been confusion. But for now, we gotta make sure that the resources go to the right place. Now, this is a big tangled mess, and there's gonna be a little bit of a traffic jam over here. But so far, we have a functioning society. Now, what's going on here? There's resources being returned. Oh, I guess they're filling this up. Okay, what we can do is build another IKEA center here. We need to get apples over here if we want to get the stone from there. So we can consider that. So hold on, since it doesn't cost anything to build this stuff, we can at least consider it, right? So if we're gonna build 2 of these, they can't work without apples, but we can't grow apples anywhere near this area. So we need to send them apples. So now that this is gonna be full of water pretty soon. Okay, I guess we'll just place another apple farm here. Make sure that you guys get water. Make sure that you're connected. Finally, make sure. And then so we will eventually allow apples to also flow through. So we're gonna extend this highway. We are going to make sure that you guys can get apples. And then you guys can collect apples from this station right here. Yeah, so we're going to build a little warehouse here that's meant for apple drop-off. And then you guys collect the apples, eat the apples. Apple in. That's all right. I think I'm probably overcomplicating it. Okay, so it's going to get apples, and then, all right, then it's going to send the resource that it does produce, which is stone, and it's going to send it to another IKEA dev center factory, somewhere around this area. I'm not exactly too sure just yet. But hey, we do have a ton of wood that's already being produced here, right? And we're gonna have ore being sent here, so we might as well just build an ore center, or not as ore, but I don't know why I keep calling it that, but and then the stone comes here. We could just build it like that, and then we can build our Ace hardware. It's going to be right over here. Okay. Can we do this? Yes, we can. Okay. And then we just need to connect a road there. Yes. Okay. Actually, I think I can make that a little bit more efficient and just maybe hopefully connect it in one go. Yes. Okay. Now this is going to start creating hammers, and this is already a wood distribution center. So we build another IKEA somewhere around here. Right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go, boys and girls. Okay. All right. Then the IKEA can send its goods back onto this main sort of distribution expressway. Right. All right. So now we can build more IKEAs. Yes, people need their coffee tables. Okay. So 1, 2. Okay. And we got to make sure we set this to IKEA. Chairs only. Chairs and coffee tables only. Okay. So now I'm going to unpause it and see how this works out for us. Okay, it's not sending apples back, right? It's just picking up apples. It's one way. Okay, all right. And we got plenty of water, plenty of food, plenty of tables and chairs. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's make sure that we now have a road connecting. Okay, there we go. That's how that's going to work. Actually, you can just do this, right? Okay. Sure. We can drop water off here. Okay, we can drop water off here, or like bring water around this way, water and food this way. And I'm going to be mindful of trying to put more of these stations. Okay, can this connect? Do we want it to connect? All right, so let's go ahead and build more houses. Yeah, sure. And some of the hotkeys are really useful. If you just press X, it'll clone whatever it is you press X on. Make sure we leave a spot for roads and other infrastructure that we're going to need. So, ooh, this is the only IKEA store that's like nearby. So they might have an IKEA shortage. Okay, make sure that you guys are connected. It's good to have like redundancy. That way they're not going to get too much congestion, because if it takes too long from the time they request something to the time they actually get it, the people are going to move out. They're going to be dissatisfied with the service that you're providing. So, okay, I'm going to pause it for a quick second so I have a second to gather my thoughts. Now, they got water here. Oh, we have space to play around with on this side. Okay. Oh, I guess a water station there would be very helpful, and then a food station somewhere around here would also be very helpful. That would suck if they had to like go across the highway to get their food, but you know what? That's how it is, baby. Okay, that's how it is in Ace's land. You guys gonna have to go across the street to get your food, and then here's your water station, all connected together. So close, so close. Okay, do that. Okay. Can they build a road here? Yes, they can, thankfully. And there we go. There we go. Okay, we've got 10 out of 10 there. We got 10 out of 10 there. Now let's see how this works out. And we might have to like think about where are we going to move this exactly? Like, where's the best place? It looks like they are storing food here. So, oh man, but there's just going to be such a traffic jam here. And are they're building chairs? This is actually working out. Yes, it is. And how's our other places? We're gonna have to start thinking about repopulating the forest. I think this is kind of working out. It's just access to apples is just really not ideal at the moment because okay, we've gotta keep it along the freeway here. Can the freeway close or the highway close? I think it can, but it's just too short, like it said. So anyway, so there's that, right? And then there's this. Okay, we're gonna also set this to apples. Set this to apples. Whoa. Okay. All right. Okay, we're gonna need access to water storage. And I guess just putting it right next to it is probably not that bad of a deal. Or we've got water here, so we can run a pipeline. Yeah, it's not gonna be too difficult to get water from here. So we just run a road. Oh, hold on a second. I got a better idea. Put a midpoint there, road there, freeway there. Water can go down this way and it'll travel by road. It'll be a little slow. But this will eventually now get water. Can it reach? Yes. Okay, so now we can just build another way to do this at the moment. Okay, let's see. But thankfully, if it doesn't really work out, we can always just redo things. Oh, this is painful. I think this is gonna be painful, but I think we gotta redo that. And okay, all right. Thankfully, there's no lose condition. You really can't lose the game. So I'm pretty sure we would have if there was like a hard difficulty. But there we go. Now we've got more people who are going to be able to access that stuff. Build more houses. Just whatever. Cram them in there. Just shove them in there. We need to get 900 people to decide this is where they want to live. Now, if we could just reconfigure that road, I think we can get this to work. If we can just connect it to anything. Okay, maybe if we just, there we go. There, nope. Oh, this is not gonna work. Okay, we gotta, okay, there we go, right? And then do that. Like I said, it's not gonna be pretty, but okay. The idea is just cram them in there like sardines. Can we fit a house in here? No, we can't fit houses in there. If the houses were only 2x2, then this game would be a piece of cake. Okay. So our max potential is 648, assuming we can satisfy everyone's needs. Everything seems to be getting to where they need. It's just the layout of the roads is what's preventing me from really optimizing where the houses are being placed, basically. If we build another town hall around this area. Oh yeah, this is not pretty, but okay. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, there's gonna be some people watching there like, man, this is an atrocious build. I would agree with you, by the way, okay. And can we build that? Yes, okay. Fortunately, we can't really fit anything in just a 2x2 square, so so 720. We can fit more houses here. I totally overlooked this one. Okay, here we go. All right, that's a bunch of more houses that we can all fit in here. And does this have to be this awkward, or can I reconfigure this a little bit? Okay, this may not work, but I'm going to give it a try anyway, so we do that, right? And then can we build it? No, okay. Dang, that sucks. Okay, it's just not going to fit there, but at least this looks a little bit better. Okay, so how are we doing here? We're at 840. Again, I'm really trying to go for that 900 achievement. We can get water here, right? Okay, we can build a water station here, right here, and then set that to water. We might even be able to get IKEA stuff here. No, I think it's just a little too, well, we got an IKEA center here, right? And it has access to this freeway. Okay, we're just gonna try and see what happens. Oh, hello. Yeah, we reached the 700 population, so we satisfied the first portion of the requirement. But I really want to get that 950, so we're gonna go and build. Things are kind of working out actually. But it's just a matter of can we get household goods here? I'm not sure. Okay, so it's a good. The reason why I built the monument first is that it would be consuming so much of the IKEA furniture that we would not be able to satisfy the population. So since we took care of that first, we don't have to worry about it now. So we do have furniture going to here. So we can build another town center. Yeah, we're not going to be able to fit many houses in there. There's probably people out there who have like probably min-max this game. And okay, I think this is the most we can unfortunately fit here is just 4 houses. Okay. Oh boy, I can already see like just how insane like some of the other levels would be. Okay, that's it. 936 though. And yeah, and also you can't cross highways, so they're impassable. They're almost like it's impassable terrain. Okay, everyone's needs are being satisfied. They got access to everything. We're doing a... Oh, they're running out of trees. Sure, sure thing. Just hook you up there. Hook you up there. Can I hook you up there? Almost. Okay. Oh, and another action that your buildings can take is that you can just simply put them on pause. So we're gonna put the farms here on pause because no one's logging any trees anyways. We're just gonna let this area replenish. Oh, did I put that on pause? Yes. So we are gonna have a slight shortage of wood, at least in this area, but it's temporary. We already got wood already coming back here now that they don't have to water the apple farms. Okay, well anyways, we're at 920. So I think we have completed the requested the scenario to get 900 people. So anyways, that is a very fun game. It's a bit of a puzzler, it's a head scratcher, and this is a tutorial. I can't even imagine some of the other scenarios. They have other resources that you need to gather, like iron ore, copper. You can build ships. You can build shipping lanes. You can build trains. You can upgrade your houses to make the population capacity even higher. And they're going to request more luxury items and other things like that. So this game came out about a year ago of this timing of the filming of this and upload. I only discovered it a couple days ago. It showed up on my feed, on my Steam recommended list because I have a lot of hours in RimWorld. But that is the gist of this game, and I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw, and I'll catch you all in another video. All right, everyone. Thank you. Bye.